I'm just an old hippie dude that's done a lot of acid. I live by a few rules.
All right, let's play around. Let's go straight into it. So, one of my friends was asking me kind of how I did my drums, and I'm a terrible finger drummer, but just once you get in here, you'll see like the different kits, and he was getting stuck hitting play, and then he just wouldn't hit play again, and that's how you get all that to go away. So you'll just kind of pick what you want. And then we'll kind of go through what I like to do. Usually I'll have like a melody or something ready. So this is not, I'm just going to make a break or something. I'll stick with the original Black Room kit. And then the hi-hat I know I'm going to change out already, but we'll get there. So, and then once you've got this all nice and lovely, you'll go into your piano roll and you can start, or you could just record it, whichever you prefer. But me personally, I am a terrible finger drummer, so I'm not even going to attempt it. And this will be our first hi-hat here, and then we'll go in and start editing our kit. So I know that I don't want this hi-hat, and I'm just going to keep playing on my MIDI keyboard till I hear something that I do like, and then we'll go through. Oh, there we go. And then we'll go through, and we can start giving it its own feel, which I'm going to put vinyl behind it. And then a compressor, because I want it to be and then tape, and I want the drive to kind of give it that saturation, so now you can really feel it. And then we'll go back and start messing with our kick, because this bad boy has to be compressed, and we're going to do the same sort of noises throughout. That way it's going to sound like we have a break. And I want this threshold to be, and then that tape again with the drive, and then I'm gonna just kind of give it that extra stomp. All right, let's see how this is sounding, and then we'll get snare going in there. Actually, I kind of like that snare already. And then if you listen, you can get, just so many different noises within that one snare noise. But we're going to use this as our first one. So we're at 80 BPM, so this is kind of like where I like to be anyway. And then these will be lower, and then these will be lower too. So no, that's way too slow. So here we go. And then we'll change the velocities of these a little bit. Get these going every two, so it should look more like that. I don't know why I'm losing my mind over here. And that kind of super loose hat, but I want it to go right into that snare, so super, super simple, as you're coming through. There are way more options, and, you can play around with this till the end of time to get it sounding exactly how you want it. And then usually, like, my first thing that I put on, oh, that's not where I want to be, that I'll put on is Decimort, because it is just the best. And then we can kind of go through there. Once it pulls up, doop-de-doop. Which, what the fuck? Where are you? Oh. Stuck off screen somehow, so we'll detach that and then bring it back over. I don't know how that happened, but which I already know I want to kind of get like an auto move. And so we could take this and then layer in an extra kick behind it, and that way we're getting a little more of that boom back, but you already see where this is going. Now I'm just going to kind of play around with this till I'm bored, and then I'll be done. Just trying to give you an idea of how it goes. this over, and then I'll mess with these velocities later to make it sound more natural. Just an example. And I want these two to be bigger. So you could also just select there with control, and then it'll highlight that whole row. And then you can see like this is a little too off, and it's gonna mess with the timing. I mean, just a very quick example, but this is exactly how it works. It's super easy to use. And then if you had like a groove that you found in here, like let's say we got this guy here and we're listening to this, you can just drop that right in here, and now you can you got the MIDI for that, just drums. And there's a ton in here, like, you know, I mean, this is not the greatest example, but within these you can always find something cool, like as you're going through. And then you can just get to play up here, and then when you're done, just hit that, and then it's over again. So if you're looking through these and then you want it to stop, there you go, that's it. So hopefully this is helpful for you, especially P-Dub, and then, you know, seeing this, and then usually I'll have, you know, a second one here, and it'll be like a guitar rig, and then the third one will be it'll go from the second to the third, so then the processing is like kind of distributed out, and these will be super down, and then this one will have like a multi-band compressor on it just to give it that extra oomph, and then layering all the stuff behind it, you know, because you'll need noise and whatever. So yep, hope that's helpful. And, you know, like I said, if you find a groove over here you want, you just slap it in there, and then you can test it, and then you can create your own custom kits, like as you go through here. You know, like here, like I'll have my my kits like these. So as you go through and like continue to create, you'll find ones, and then you'll just be like, oh, I like the way this sounds, because you'll have spent like hours getting it sounding exactly how you want it. So yeah, man. All right, hope you guys have a good day, and you know, that's it for Addictive Drums today. I will do more when I figure out exactly what people want, but yeah, quick little stream. All right, later.